Yes, ndezera ko mumeze neza kabisa, ndezera ko muri aho kandi muri amahoro, mugire igitondo kiza. Rero ni Africa Info News kabisa. Rero nanjye nkabandi pazo wanyu, rero umuhungu wanyu kabisa ubaha amakuru ku gihe. Aka kanya rero uyu munsi Islamabad mu biganiro biri kubera hariya muri Pakistan hagati ya Iran ndetse na Amerika, Vance ni vice president w'igihugu cya Amerika kandi nawe waje hagarariye ngira ngo delegation yaturutse muri Amerika. Rero akaba yataye abanyamakuru, bro, yasize abanyamakuru, mbese yavuye kuri stage abantu bakiri kumubaza ibibazo nawe ahita bacika arigendera. Ibintu atangaje birakomeye cyane, ibintu avuze ni ibintu njye ubwanjye utabasha kumva uburyo, ni ibintu bifite uburemere. Avuga ati Iran ikwiye guca bugufi ndetse ikamenya ko Amerika ari nk'umubyeyi kuri Iran. Iran ikwiye kwicara ikamenya yuko Amerika ari ryo bera Iran yose. Ngira ngo ni ibintu biteye ubwoba cyane. Avuga ati Iran ntago ikwiye kuguma kwizunguza, kwigira uko ibonye, kwigira uko ishaka, ntago ikwiye gukomeza kukuza ibintu bigire birebire cyane. Ni ikiganiro rero amaze gutambutsa mu kanya gato gashize cyane kabisa. Avuga ati rero Iran, abanyamakuru bamubazaga ibintu byinshi cyane bikomeye. Kavuga ati twebwe nk'abanyamerika dufite uburyo ki twateguye intambara kandi dufite uburyo ki dushaka ko intambara irangira. Iran nibishaka kangira mu mahoro izangira mu mahoro, ariko Iran nitemera byo tuyisaba ntago bizakunda. Arongera kandi aravuga, baramubaza bati se wowe na Donald Trump mukominikana mute mu bijyanye n'ibi biganiro biri kubera hano Islamabad? Muvugana gute ko Donald Trump isani sashobora guhindura ibintu? Ese mwe mubigenza gute? Mwumvikana mu buhe buryo? Aravuga ngo twebwe ngo Trump ngo turavugana ngo kandi ngo tugahana amakuru ngo ku gihe, ngo nta kigomba kuducika, ngo ndetse nawe nta kiba kigomba kumucika. Baramubaza none batese ugereranije ubona ino ntambara imaze ibyumweru birenga 6 ishobora guhagarara cyangwa se ntago ishobora guhagarara? Aravuga ngo twebwe igihugu cyacu gishobora kuguma kikarwana cyangwa se kigahagarika kurwana, byose bizaterwa nuko Iran izaba yakira ibintu cyangwa se Iran izaba yemeye ko ibi biganiro by'amahoro biri kubera hano Islamabad birangira. Gusa kandi mu kiganiro yatanze yatangiye ashimira Pakistan, ashimira Sharif, ngira ngo niwe mu minisitiri w'ububanyi n'amahanga wa Pakistan, ngira ngo niwe wabigizemo uruhare kugira ngo byose bigenze gutyo. Avuga ati twagiranye ikiganiro kiri prive cyangwa se ikiganiro cyihariye, niwe twaganiriye kugeza ubwo nyina nyumvishije yuko ibi bikwiye kubaho. Ngira ngo yamushimiye cyane, ashimira Pakistan ndetse ashimira na president wabo, ariko cyane cyane ashimira nyine prime minister wa Pakistan. Avuga ati rero uyu niwe wagize uruhare kugira ngo bigende neza, kugira ngo ibi biganiro bikorano Islamabad bibe byagerwaho. Bakomeza bamubaza ati none se urabona bizarangira gute? Umugabo nta kindi yakoze, yahise abata kuri stage ahita yigendera. Yayisabaga ngo thank you, mbese ni ngo murakoze cyane, ahita ayigendera, nta kindi kintu yavuze, yese abasiga aho ngaho. Papa aravuga ati ndigende. Ubwo uwo ni DJ Vance, akaba ni vice president rero waje hagarariye delegation yavuye muri Amerika, rero ije mu biganiro hariya Islamabad muri Pakistan. Reka rero mbareke mukurikire icyo kiganiro yagiranye nabo, ubundi murebe n'uburyo yavuye kuri stage agahita basiga. Papa yahise abasiga kuri stage, ibyo yamwaje byose yabisubije bimwe na bimwe, yabasize kuri stage basigara bitonganya muri saro barimo bamubariza arigendera. Reka rero mbareke mukurikirane kino kiganiro yagiranye n'itangazamakuru ndetse mwumve n'ibyo yatangaje, mumenye ngo se bimeze bite.
Whatever shortcomings of the hosts and whatever shortcomings of the negotiation, it wasn't because of the Pakistanis, who did an amazing job and really tried to help us and the Iranians bridge the gap and get to a deal. We have been at it now for 21 hours, and we've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement, and I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America. So we go back to the United States having not come to an agreement. We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms. Questions?
Sir, Nick Robertson from CNN. Precisely what have they rejected here? Can you help us understand it a little bit?
Well, I won't go into all the details because I don't want to negotiate in public after we've negotiated for 21 hours in private. But the simple fact is that we need to see an affirmative commitment that they will not seek a nuclear weapon and they will not seek the tools that would enable them to quickly achieve a nuclear weapon. That is the core goal of the President of the United States, and that's what we've tried to achieve through these negotiations. Again, their nuclear program, such as it is, the enrichment facilities that they had before, they've been destroyed. But the simple question is, do we see a fundamental commitment of will for the Iranians not to develop a nuclear weapon, not just now, not just 2 years from now, but for the long term? We haven't seen that yet. We hope that we will. Jen.
Was there a framework on anything? And also, did the Iranian frozen assets come up, and did you reach any conclusions on those frozen assets?
We talked about all those issues, Jen, and we talked about a number of issues beyond that. And so certainly those things came up. But again, we just could not get to a situation where the Iranians were willing to accept our terms. I think that we were quite flexible. We were quite accommodating. The president told us, you need to come here in good faith and make your best effort to get a deal. We did that. And unfortunately, we weren't able to make any headway. Preston.
Mr. Vice President, how often did you communicate with President Trump throughout the negotiations? There were reports that there were multiple rounds where there were breaks in between negotiations. How often did you communicate with the president throughout those rounds, and what was he saying as you were going through these negotiations that you said fell short?
Yeah, obviously we were talking to the president consistently. I don't know how many times we talked to him, a half dozen times, a dozen times over the past 21 hours. We obviously also talked to Admiral Cooper, to Pete, to Marco, to the entire national security team. We talked to Scott Bessent a number of times. So look, we were constantly in communication with the team because we were negotiating in good faith. And we leave here with a very simple proposal, a method of understanding that is our final and best offer. We'll see if the Iranians accept it. Thank you.
Mr. Vice President, where does this leave the Strait of Hormuz?
Did you go back to Prime Minister Netanyahu at all today?
What about the Strait of Hormuz? Did they give you any indication of the Supreme Leader's health?